All right, we back. We had to take a little hiatus. Brother Ann had to dip, but as we were saying, LeBron, man, he's a dope dude for the fact that he really does for his community, and he does it out of the kindness and the goodness of his heart because he wants to make a real difference. He's not doing it for show. He wants to make a difference, man. And so, you know, when we talk about that black male image, we got LeBron on the athlete side. What about entertainment as far as musicians? Any musicians really doing it on a level where you know they're looking to change the image for the community?
I think for myself initially, I immediately have to say Jay-Z, but you know I think it's already like clearly known that Jay-Z does his thing as far as changing the image, promoting care and love of self, promoting black business, doing black business. But who comes to my mind that I feel like, hey, away from that, about to knock the table. Excuse me. Who comes to my mind that I really think needs to be spoken on is somebody like Nipsey Hussle, who is doing very notable things, and not just his actions, not just what he says in his music, but what he says in his interviews and what he actually lives that you can check up on. I think he's promoting. He comes from the struggle. From what I've seen concerning him, he like really comes from the struggle, survived long enough to have his mind exposed to different ways of living, and it has caused him to actually conduct himself differently to the degree that he is a banger but is able to still do business and do music with an opposing banger.
Right.
Like he doesn't even bring that into his music in that way. And then he's putting out business and doing business in the black community, promoting black business. So I think that I think we have some examples. I don't think that they're talked about enough. But yeah, we have dudes, man, that are doing exceptional work and doing it in the mindset of making us look better. And that's why, like when I was asked earlier, like we always feel the need to do stuff like this, to address things like this. Who on any other side, what other race of people go out of their way? I knew you was gonna do that, bro. Hey, this is real TV right here. Battery died too.
No, we're good so far.
It's real TV right here. Hey, so. Stop acting crazy, Pop. Move back. You gonna make me go get on your bed? Go get on your bed. Thank you. What other community of people are really doing something, like going out of their way? Young men that are saying, you know what? I want to make a video that speaks to what we are trying to do in our community, what we are doing in our community, what other people are doing in our community to uplift our people.
Yo, so I gotta find this quote, and I may not be able to find it right now. I wish I had held it down. Autobiography of an Ex-Colored Man by James Weldon Johnson. This was published 100 years ago. You know, and so it's like this dude, one of the things that he says in there is that there's the duality that as a black man, everything that you do in life is going to be seen from these eyes of you having to represent yourself, essentially. Mm-hmm. You having to represent black people. Everything that happens, you have to have it from a black mindset. Not, did this happen just because? Did this happen because I'm black? Or did this, like, it's all about everything that happens is this black mindset. Mm-hmm. And you see it. You see it where there are times where we are, as a people, insecure about certain things that happen, and we wonder, is it because we're black? And it's not necessarily that we try to use it to our advantage, but real talk, like, would somebody have treated me like this if I was not black? And women get that.
Absolutely.
Women understand that fact. So, it's not just a black thing, but it's a you don't have power in America thing. And if you're in a different country where the power is shifted to a different race, you have that same mindset. Is this because I'm this?
Because I'm not that race.
Because I'm not that. Because if you go to the motherland, there's certain countries there where, the Rwanda, the Hutu and the Tutsi, and it was like, this is happening because you were that other race.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is happening because of that. So it's like that duality of, I know this is happening, or I feel like this is happening, or if I do this, are people going to look at me because I'm black? And so everything that I do and the way I carry myself, straight up, I live that. I know that everything that I do, I have to represent black people in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always on my mind. Every single time, any and everything that I do, I have to represent black people in a positive way. And even the way I grow my hair and style my hair, I'll do it because there are times when I know I will catch backlash, but I want the next young brother to be able to do it because it's your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that when I was younger. I remember my homeboy, his father's from Ghana, and I had braids. Walked in the house, his father looked at me, what did you do to your hair? And he went straight up. And he said, you know how hard you're going to have it in life? I said, man, well, if the next young dude has it easier, it's worth it. And I wasn't even thinking on the level where I'm thinking now. I was being honest, but I wasn't even thinking about that like that. So it's like, everything that we do, bro, you got to do like this, and then are you representing yourself well? Are you representing everybody else well?
No.
And it's tough.
Absolutely.
So how do we keep this image positive? What can we do? And then, do you feel like we should not have to think about that?
No, I don't think that is unhealthy to think like that or to think about it from that angle. I think that everybody should always be representing their people. You start small. A young man or a young woman, when they leave the house, they should be thinking, how am I representing my parents?
Most definitely.
I think a young group of like a small family should be thinking, how am I representing my last name? When you leave out of town, people think, man, how am I representing Charlottesville? How am I representing Baltimore? So I think we should be our identifiers, because we identify with stuff. I don't think that it's healthy to be, I'm a human, so I'm a human first. Like, you, of course, Joker, but then you're a black man. Like, you are a Latino man. You are an Italian man. You are a Pakistani man. Like, that is what you are. You represent that. And you should think about your people first. I think when we aren't allowed to think about our people first, that's trying to strip us from having an identity to fit into someone else's identity, which I just don't think is fair. So I think, I should be thinking, yes, I am representing black people. I don't have a problem with representing black people. I have a problem with no one else having to represent who they are. When white people do something, they're not representing all of white people. I don't mind representing black, but make them represent white when they do something wrong. Make them represent, really it's just white people that don't have to represent all of them, because when a Latino cat, a Puerto Rican cat do something, Puerto Ricans have to live up to that. Yeah, absolutely.
They got to answer to that.
So it's only white people that don't have to represent whiteness when they do something. But when black people do something, you got to answer for it. That's just what it is. And I don't have an issue with that. because again, I think that we should identify with something, and I think that that's healthy. And I think when we actually get our kids to think like that, then it can be the positive side to it is when I go out and I do something, I'm doing this for black people. And when I go out and I'm about to do something stupid, how am I going to make us look? I think we should pump our brakes on that fact.
I'm with you 100%. Something came to mind as you were talking. And I was like, I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to throw this out there. See if you catch this live. The word nigga.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about how we represent as, I'm going to represent as a black man. You should represent as Italian, Pakistani. That word nigga, I stopped using it. If you ever notice, I say brother Will, brother Aunt, sister this, sister that. I call white people brother and sister. I don't really discriminate on the race.
Mm-hmm.
But nigga is something that we use in our community. And this is why I'm going to say this. I'm going to give you my opinion before I ask yours. I don't like to use it anymore. And the reason is this. When a white person calls me a nigga, it's an issue. It's a problem. If a white person calls me Mac, I don't have a problem with that. They call you by your name if they say, oh, Will, that's that nice black dude from, they describe you. That's how they describe you. And you're okay with them saying, oh, the black guy. Mm-hmm. They say, oh, Will, that nigga in his image. Mm-hmm. It's going to be an issue.
No question.
So, what do you feel about, because I know so many people say, yo, we own that word now. But if you own that word, if you believe in that word, if that word is your identity, why would it cause you grief? And I'm not saying you, but your thoughts on this. Because I feel like, I can't use it no more because I want anybody else, don't call me a nigga. We might not fight, but I'm going to have problems.
Yeah. So when I came into what I consider myself to be a hardcore Christian back in like 2002 sometime, I put nigga down completely. I will only say joker or brother. Like when I was moving toward like an insulting kind of mindset, then it was like joker in a negative way. But then I also I just replaced nigga with, I took out nigga and just started saying joker.